America's capital under fire. A brutal street attack leaves a young government worker bloodied and unconscious. The suspects? Teenagers. The response? Explosive. Former President Donald Trump threatens a federal takeover of Washington, D.C., sparking a national outcry and raising serious constitutional questions. What happened to Edward Coristine, the former DOGE employee? Why is Trump calling for martial law-like measures? And what does this mean for the future of law enforcement in American cities? This is IGOR'S News, and here's the full story behind the headline. At around 3 a.m. this past Sunday, 19-year-old Edward Coristine, known online by his meme nickname Big Balls, was walking near downtown Washington, D.C. when he encountered a group of teens attempting to carjack a woman. Instead of walking away, Edward stepped in to defend her. What happened next was brutal. The group turned on him, beating him so severely that he lost consciousness. Graphic images posted later would show his face swollen and bloodied, a stark symbol of the growing concerns about youth violence in the capital. Police were quick to respond and arrested two 15-year-olds from Maryland. They've been charged with unarmed carjacking. According to reports, as many as 10 teenagers may have been involved. Coristine, who previously worked for the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, is now recovering. But the political storm unleashed by the attack is far from over. Just hours after the news broke, Donald Trump took to Truth Social with a shocking statement. "If the city can't protect its own people, we will take it over." Trump's post included a graphic image of Coristine's injuries, alongside a demand to try juvenile offenders as adults, starting as young as 14 years old. The former president called D.C. lawless, citing this case as proof of Democrat-led cities failing to maintain law and order. This isn't Trump's first time criticizing Washington, D.C., but the threat of federalization, that is, the federal government taking over D.C. policing and governance, sent shockwaves through political circles. Trump supporters echoed the call. Billionaire Elon Musk tweeted, "If D.C. leadership can't stop the chaos, it's time someone did." Here's the key question. Can Trump, or any president, actually take control of Washington, D.C.? The short answer is no, not unilaterally. Under the 1973 Home Rule Act, D.C. has its own mayor and city council. To fully dissolve D.C.'s autonomy and place it under permanent federal control would require Congress to repeal the Home Rule Act. That's a long shot. Currently, Republicans don't have a filibuster-proof majority in the Senate. Any move to repeal the act would face fierce Democratic resistance. However, the president does have limited emergency powers. He can deploy the D.C. National Guard without local approval. He can temporarily take control of the Metropolitan Police in specific emergencies. But even then, federal control can only last a short time without congressional oversight. So while Trump's rhetoric is powerful, the legal path to action is narrow and highly contested. So, why is Trump threatening this now? This is more than just about crime. It's political. Trump is reinforcing his law and order brand, targeting Democrat-led cities, appealing to suburban voters who fear rising crime. With the 2024 election still in recent memory and the 2026 midterms on the horizon, Trump is using incidents like this one to frame Democrats as weak on crime. Even though D.C. officials say violent crime is down 25% compared to last year, high-profile attacks like this override statistics in the public eye. Trump's critics say he's exploiting tragedy for political gain. Supporters say he's highlighting real public safety concerns. The battle lines are drawn. Trump's demand to prosecute minors as adults also reignites a controversial national debate. Under current D.C. law, minors under 18 are typically tried in juvenile court unless charged with specific violent felonies. Even then, adult prosecution is rare. Trump argues that soft justice encourages crime and wants the threshold for adult charges lowered to age 14. Legal experts and child advocates push back, saying, the juvenile brain is still developing. Harsh punishments can increase recidivism. Rehabilitation is more effective than incarceration. This debate is now in the spotlight again, centered on a single, brutal attack in the Capitol. Now, let's talk about Edward Coristine. the young man at the center of the storm. A native of Connecticut, Coristine briefly worked with the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, a new bureaucratic initiative under the last administration. He became a minor internet celebrity through memes after being nicknamed Big Balls, a nod to his fearless online commentary and real-life boldness. But this incident showed his courage wasn't just digital. He risked his life to help a stranger. Whether or not you agree with the political reactions, his actions were undeniably heroic. The attack also raises broader questions about public safety in Washington, D.C. While violent crime has dropped overall in 2025, carjackings remain high, and many involve teenagers. D.C. officials have launched new youth outreach programs and increased police patrols. But the challenges persist. One former police chief described the city's youth crime as a ticking time bomb. Now, with Trump and Musk calling for federal intervention, the pressure on local officials is growing. Can the city govern itself? Or is it time for drastic change? That's the debate unfolding right now. Legal scholars warn that Trump's threats, while likely not enforceable in full, could lead to a constitutional showdown if taken seriously. The balance between local governance and federal oversight has long been fragile in D.C. The city's unique status as the nation's capital makes it vulnerable to political pressure. If Trump or another president were to act aggressively, using emergency powers to override local rule, it could trigger court battles, protests, and even civil unrest. Could this case be the tipping point? For now, Coristine continues to recover. The two teens arrested will face trial, likely in juvenile court. Meanwhile, Trump is doubling down, using the incident in campaign-style speeches to argue that Democrats are soft on crime and federal control may be the only solution. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser has pushed back, calling Trump's comments dangerous and undemocratic. But the media frenzy isn't letting up. Expect this story to dominate headlines for weeks, especially as more details emerge. So, what do you think? Should D.C. be federally controlled? Should teens who commit violent crimes be tried as adults? Or is Trump exploiting tragedy for political theater? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you found this story informative. This has been IGOR'S News, where facts meet fearless commentary. Until next time, stay informed, stay skeptical, and stay safe.